From LALATE headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Afternoons LALATE.
It's a big Afternoons LALATE. Thank you for joining me. Big updates about your fourth stimulus check, your third stimulus check, your fifth stimulus check. In this recording, I jump into the live chat and interact with you on our 1-year anniversary. We go over student loan debt forgiveness, mortgage forbearance, and the big items also heading capital gains tax next Wednesday. What's going on with all that and more? I have all the latest details. It's a great Afternoons LALATE. I'm so excited for you. It's our 1-year anniversary, and this is a live chat. Let's get to it. This is Afternoons LALATE. How are you, everybody? It's a good afternoon of Afternoons LALATE. It is a Sunday afternoon, and the Oscars are about to start, and I'm not nominated, but you can still write me in. How are you? If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Also, like this video. If you're not become a member, consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP. It's our 1-year anniversary, and in this recording, I have the big update about your fourth stimulus, fifth stimulus, and third stimulus, and the big developing details we're going to discuss in this recording about what's happening on Wednesday. First, fourth stimulus will be going out in July. That's a monthly stimulus check that will be part of what's called the fourth stimulus package, or the American Jobs Plan, or the infrastructure bill. The Democratic senators and Democratic House members will put those stimulus checks in there. They'll be per month in July. Fifth stimulus will be in September. That will be the American Family Plan, and that will have SSI reform in there. So says the Democrats. But third stimulus got a big update that I can exclusively report in this recording. I can exclusively report that there's another wave of third stimulus checks landing this coming Wednesday. Yes, one viewer actually got the alert from the IRS tool. It was not there. They've been waiting for a check all along, and finally they see that check pending for next week. Congratulations to that viewer, as third stimulus checks continue to go out across the country and wave after wave continue to unfold. But now what's happening with fourth stimulus? Fourth stimulus is happening because no bipartisan support has been reached. The economy is not rebounding at a faster growth than anticipated. And because corporate earnings are relatively good, but not out of the ballpark. And, of course, next week, the Federal Reserve will announce that it's not changing Fed policy, that it's going to continue to support the economy. Those stimulus checks would be the single biggest stimulus checks you see on this channel, $1,000 a stimulus check every month, depending on whether you're a House Democrat or a Senate Democrat. So the House members will give you a stimulus check every month for the rest of the pandemic plus 1 year. And the senators will give you a stimulus check from now to December. How does this differ? Let's go over the differences. The House members are progressives. The senators are moderates, but they have a lot of other items. They may slide into the fourth stimulus. I'll be going over that in this recording. Meantime, the amount of the monthly stimulus checks differs. The House members want to give $2,000 the first month, $1,000 thereafter. The senators, the amount is unknown, but word on the street is it looks like this. $2,000 a month, which is $12,000 over 6 months. $1,400 a month, which is $8,400 over 6 months. Those are the two possibilities for the senators, either $2,000 a month or $1,400 a month. And yes, this is you. You would qualify if you got a third stimulus. Same income qualifications, $75,000 or less, $150,000 or less for a married couple, household 4 or less, and if you're on SSI or SDI, Social Security and Railroad benefits. When, how would this happen? First, the stimulus checks would go out in July. The vote would be in July. The first check that would be paid would be in July. It would not count as income. It would not trigger disqualification of benefits. Yes, it looks large, but it's not large compared to what the president's doing the rest this year. He's proposing in September to pay $24,000 to 17 and newborns over 6 years. So not particularly robust compared to the other things they're spending. Again, July, vote, July, check, July, going out, and incredible, great news. That's forced stimulus. And forced stimulus got 4 major events this last week supporting it. One, the Federal Reserve said it's not changing policy. Second, the Republicans would not do bipartisan support. And number 3, that the economic data showed us really almost at the same growth rate where we recover in December, not in July. So very, very clear. What I want you to know and be informed going into evenings LALATE and late afternoons, the next show after this one, is the following. The president next week is going to make things look a little bit different than they are. Not true. The president's going to try to look like he can do bipartisan support. Never, ever, ever is going to get bipartisan support. In fact, he's not only not going to get bipartisan support for this stimulus package, the 4th, he's not going to get bipartisan support for the 5th stimulus. Now, let's turn to 5th stimulus. But before I do, I want to go over something new for 5th stimulus, which I haven't done before. 5th stimulus is the America Family Plan in the fall, and that has the SSI reform in there. Now, I'm not saying SSI reform is not going to happen. But I want you to understand is what's happening this Wednesday for 5th stimulus. On Wednesday, for 5th stimulus, the president will debut what he wants in for 5th stimulus, which is spending $24,000 on 17 to newborns by extending the child care tax credit. Yes, the one that hasn't even paid out a penny yet until July, for upwards of 6 years total. And he wants to do that by levying taxes, lots and lots of taxes. He wants to raise the capital gains tax so that you will be taxed at a rate that no one has seen in nearly a generation. Now, before I go to the SSI reform, what I want you to know is the following. First, when we talk about reconciliation, there's a catch to reconciliation. You have to have all Democrats to agree with you. As we sit here right now, a series of breaking news reports this weekend suggest, and I was kidding about it last night on LA Late Night, but it's really not a joke, that the president will likely not get all Democrats on board to raise the capital gains tax. He's likely not to even get support for what he wants to do from his own party, because the capital gains raise that he's seeking is so onerous, so high, and is not just a tweaking of the capital gains, it's an obliteration of the rate through the roof, that he's likely not to get that support. Number 2, it's also potentially setting up how would you say it? It's potentially setting up a very bad precedent for the midterm elections. Because let me explain this. When we talk about capital gains this Wednesday for 5th stimulus in September, you know that 5th stimulus would pay money this year. You understand that. But the implication of paying for 5th stimulus with capital gains changes next year could signal going into next year that people may take the capital gains tax raise as a way to unseat Democrats in the midterm elections next year. So there's a lot of new reports today that says, don't think that he's going to get these capital gains taxes, because the time and place in which they would take effect would be next year, exactly when the midterm elections are happening. First, he may not get support he may not get his own Democrats to support it for recon this fall. But more importantly, even if he did pass it, that could really set up a problem for the Democrats in the midterm election next year. So let's go to that SSI reform. That SSI reform is the single biggest thing that we have ever seen on this channel, and it's absolutely incredible. I'm not saying it's not happening because of what I just told you. I wanted to tell you why the pay for of the fifth stimulus is really at issue. Now, SSI reform is incredible. Let's go over the details. First, he would increase the benefits level. First, the Democrats would increase the benefits levels. They'd increase the asset limits, increase the inflationary benchmark, remove the income exclusion, and remove the marriage penalty. Let me go back over what all these provisions of SSI reform do for you. And certainly, if you have questions or comments, drop them in the chat in just about 3 minutes from now, because I'm going to jump into the live chat and interact with you. First, he would take the fifth stimulus, not he, but the fifth stimulus would take your benefits and raise them to a new level, a new big great number. Viewers have been asking me, I'm on a few benefits, so would they all be raised? Yes. So that new benefits number would kick in. Then that would be your new number going forward. Second, you would be tied to a new benchmark. That new benchmark would be inflation. And inflation would be the benchmark when they reassess your benefits every December. When they look at your benefits, they'll say, oh, okay, the inflationary rate this year was, so your benefits will be raised to that rate of the year. Inflation is generally 1% to 4% per year, so your benefits would always likely increase, but Federal Reserve and myself are both saying 2 to 3% inflation over the next few years. So you're absolutely going to get 2 to 3% increase over the next few years. Third, asset cap is going away. That dates back to the 1980s under the Reagan administration, going away. It says you can't keep more than $3,000 on hand for some of the benefits. Fourth, the income exclusion going away. That dates back to 1962. It says if you want to work, even though you don't have to, if you want to work, you can. They're going to get rid of it and say you can work, make $1,000 or $2,000 a month and keep the money and still stay on benefits. And finally, the marriage penalty. Viewers have asked me to explain it. Either you have the marriage penalty or you don't have the marriage penalty. If you have it, you know what it is. What are they going to do it? They're going to kick to the curb. Gone is that marriage penalty. Incredible great news across the board. I'm really excited for you. And with that, as we go into the late afternoon of a Sunday afternoon, let me jump into the live chat and see some of your questions and comments going on right now. Let me see some of the questions. Oh, someone said parent alert. I didn't see it. What would be the big new number for all SSI recipients? Doug. So again, great question, Doug. I don't know everyone's number. Everyone would have a different number because we're talking about a lot of benefits being changed. We're talking about SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits. We're talking about a lot of numbers being changed. So everyone would have a big new set of numbers, and I don't know what every particular person's number would be. But thank you for that question. Let me see some other questions in the live chat as well. Oh, there's the pair. Thank you, Brenda Baker, for the pair alert. Really excited. Dr. Anna Marie, it's your birthday. Congratulations and best wishes. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for the incredible birthday wishes as we go into a late afternoon. Thank you so much. Let me jump back into the live chat and see some of the other questions. $1,400 shouldn't even be in play. That was an amount to bring us up to $2,000. Why do these people think that we don't remember this? Brian, very good comment. Linda Blackburn, happy anniversary from the original viewers from June 2020. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Linda. Let me see any other questions. What about the SSI $200 monthly? Great question. So the SSI $200 is getting a push next week. That push for SS200 happens next week as Elizabeth Warren has a conference, a congressional hearing about the wealth tax bill. And that wealth tax bill, remember, is the one that would provide the funding for SS200. That heats up next week. Now, could they get SS200 into the fourth stimulus package by sliding it in? I think they could. Could they get the wealth tax in? I don't think they could. That's too controversial. Is there some issue that would derail SS200? Yes. Multiple stimulus checks. Are people going to give you $12,000 and $200 a month? I don't think they're going to do the two things at the same time. I think they're going to do the multiple stimulus checks, which is where they're pushing. Remember, these multiple stimulus checks are incredible sums of money, and they qualify for you. Let me jump back into the live chat and see some of your other questions as well. How can we buy you an anniversary scarf? Thank you, Peter, for that hilarious comment. On the video coming up after this, on Afternoons LA, second video, the opening credits of the video, the first, I think it's 60 seconds, the music underlay underneath my talking voice is a little bit loud. So I'm just warning you ahead of time that at the music level of the music underneath my voice for the first 30 seconds is a little bit loud. So please don't drop in the comments of that video, I can't hear you. Well, it's just the opening remarks. It's only 30 seconds, and after that, it's gone. So when you tune into Afternoons LA, the next show after this one, and you hear the music underneath me and just a little bit loud, just wait a second. It's gone after 30 seconds. We're trying something new. It's an anniversary show, so we're trying something new. And sometimes, different levels go different ways. Sometimes the $12 ice cream is not delicious. Let me jump back into the live chat and see some of your questions and comments across the board. What's going to go on with the student loan forgiveness of $50,000? Brian, great question. So the good news about that is that broadcast media has now put that as front page news following the lead of this channel. Miguel Cardona was due to deliver that memo 2 weeks ago. It hasn't been delivered. The memo that would say whether the president could forgive student loan debt by executive order, that memo has yet to be delivered. And now it's 2 weeks late. The memo would say that Obama did it and Trump did it. So where is that memo? We're waiting for the memo, and now broadcast media is saying, where is that memo? A new series of reports released this weekend is that congressional leaders, over 50% of them, do support the $50,000 student loan debt forgiveness. Hello from State College. Oh, that's also Brad. Let me see some more of the questions and comments. Nice pictures, Elliot. I appreciate that, Jacqueline. Just remember, get it going, said someone else just a second ago. I'm really forward to seeing you again next year and all the others to come. I really appreciate it. That's very nice, Charlotte. Very, very kind across the board. And let me also touch on to what's going on with this stimulus. It's very important to understand that when you hear proposals from this president, it's being done a little bit differently than prior presidents. What you're going to see on Wednesday is the debut of the America Family Plan. Now, let me explain this. You're not going to see the bill. The bill's not going to be written. You're not going to see a lot of details, and you're going to see a lot of superlatives. And with those superlatives will come a lot of guessing. Which taxes are going to be raised? For who? For what percentage? For when? And how does that work? And people won't know because he's not going to tell you. The way he's doing his rollouts of stimulus packages is sometimes fine and sometimes not fine. This Wednesday, it will not be fine because it's going to cause market uncertainty with rumors circulating about what he may or may not do because he won't tell us what he's going to do for purposes of taxes. Remember, Wall Street trades on rumor, and they don't. And then Wall Street sells on rumor and buys on news. And so when they don't know what the news is, they could get very skittish and sell on the rumor of what the president may actually never even do. It's simply because he's not being forthcoming and giving detail about what the capital gains tax will be, what the personal tax bracket changes he will make. It makes people a little bit nervous about what else is happening. Let me jump back into the live chat as well and see some more of your questions and comments on this big Afternoons LALATE broadcast. Let's see some of your other questions you got here. When I married my first husband, he was on SSD. Then he gave me $100 a month for my 2 boys. And I get my own check, but it was his, says Trish. Let me see some more of the comments. You become a big part of everyone's life. I really appreciate that, Anne-Marie. Very, very kind. Let me see some more of the questions and comments. If you married and your spouse is on SSI, wait, I lost it. It's Joanne. If you're married and your spouse is on SSI, will you both receive the full benefits under the new proposal? Yes. I've had a lot of people ask me, I have 2 benefits checks or I have 2 of something. Am I getting both? Yes. They're seeking to reform the entire system across the board. Why would Biden do raising capital gains, says Angela. I'm not really clear. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Miss Marie, LA, what's your favorite food? Oh boy, I like a lot of food. There's almost no food I don't like. There's almost no food I don't like. At certain days, certain times, I like one type of food more than another. It just depends on what you're in the mood for at that certain particular time. Um, Let me see some more of the great questions. Can they do it sooner? Fifth stimulus. Fourth stimulus. No and no. Can't do fourth stimulus earlier and can't do third stimulus earlier. Actually, we can't do fourth stimulus or fifth stimulus earlier for Anne Marie. No, because it takes 2 months to do something. John Britton, didn't get my stimulus yet. So watch, because there is a new wave of stimulus going out. There's Yaya. Thank you for the very nice comments. Nancy, Ella, you work so hard to keep us informed and you understand what's going on. Thank you. It's really appreciated. I really appreciate that. Can they do this faster, Anne Marie? They could have started fourth stimulus faster. Oh, the video's not looping. There's a stuck video. Oh, now it's going. They could have done this fourth stimulus faster. Rather, they have slowed it down by trying to do too much bipartisanship. But great question across the board. We have to be patient. Recon. It says Colleen. There we are. And there we are on a big Afternoons LALATE broadcast. I'm so excited you have joined me. I'm back with you on Afternoons LALATE coming up after this one. Remember the first 30 seconds of that video, the audio under the music underneath it's a little bit loud. So someone in the live chat says, I can't hear you. I know you can't hear me. You can hear me. It was I can't hear you. Turn that down. My ears are hurting. I could just sense it coming. I can just smell it coming. So that starts our big afternoon's programming, our evening's programming lineup. It starts at 6 o'clock tonight. 2 hours from now is Afternoons LALATE kicking up its feet. It's in 2 hours from now. And then we go into Evenings LALATE at 8 p.m. 2 hours after that, a double dose. And then we have Sirloin and Javita Light at LA Late Night tonight. What a big day it's going to be, and we are far from over. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Also, like this video. Try to do 3,000 likes. If you missed any of the morning's videos earlier today, go back and watch them. Incredible footage you've never seen before, anniversary footage on those videos. And with that, stay informed, stay focused. I'll see you later, and this is LA.